You got milk. The average consumption of whole dairy milk in the U.S. per capita in the year of 2015 was 46 gallons. This is equivalent to one person drinking about 5 pounds of milk in 1 year, according to Statista. As Americans, we've grown up on the same idea that milk builds strong bones and holds great nutritional value. There is an increasing amount of evidence that's being released that contradicts these claims. I realize this news can be hard to believe, being as you were exposed to dairy since birth. Even my mother was in denial when I first shared the news. She claims, I grew up on this stuff, and I'm fine. Comments like these are common. Many individuals do not connect changes in their body with health concerns, as they are easy to go unnoticed. The consumption of dairy milk negatively impacts the human body. Today, I'd like to persuade you to stop drinking dairy milk. I will share my knowledge and reasoning with you, starting with the ingredients and the lack of bone protection, and then moving in to how dairy milk can increase your risk of cancer. There are hidden ingredients in your glass of cow milk. Antibiotics are given to cows to prevent infection and inflammation in their udders from the constant milking. This method of prevention is very popular. Some farmers give their cows antibiotics daily, which is going to end up in antibiotic resistance, thus allowing contaminants in the cow's milk ready to be consumed by you. Traces of these antibiotics are found in the milk produced from the cow. If you consume enough of the antibiotic milk, it's possible your body could become antibiotic resistant as well. Polychlorinated biphenyls, PCB for short, are toxic pollutants spread mostly by human activity. You can find PCBs in coolant fluids, carbonless copy paper, and in heat transfer fluids. Basically, you're consuming industrial products and chemicals. Grazing cows ingest contaminated grass, hay, and silage. Then these contaminants are absorbed through the gastrointestinal tract and distributed into the fat compartments of the cow's body, including the milk fat of the lactating cow. Milk fat is a major contributor to human exposure of PCBs. Once consumed, the product builds up inside, affecting the immune, reproductive, and central nervous system. Myth or fact, drinking dairy milk builds you strong bones. Myth, the calcium found in milk does not maintain the calcium levels in your body. Michelson et al. Conducted an experiment using about 100,000 individuals from Sweden to observe whether high milk consumption is associated with mortality and fractures. They chose Sweden because Europeans have been known to tolerate lactose. Coming from ABC News, around 40% of people in the world can tolerate lactose. And of that 40%, 90% of them come from Europe. In the experiment, they observed dietary habits over 20 years while testing dairy intake. They observed that for every glass of milk, there was no reduction in fracture risk in any type of fracture. Dairy milk is packed with hormones. Therefore, hormone-dependent tumors grow and feed off a person's dairy consumption. Consuming high intakes of dairy increases your risk of ovarian, prostate, and breast cancer. Another study was conducted in Sweden, observing about 60,000 women and their diets for a little over 13 years. Larson et al. Conducted that women who observed 4 or more of any dairy products in a day were 2 times more likely to have serious ovarian cancer than women who consumed 2 or less dairy products a day. It was also stated that milk was the dairy product with the strongest association to ovarian cancer, according to Larson et al. Tate, Bibb, and Larcom conducted an experiment testing for the growth of prostate cancer cells after digesting either dairy milk or 2 other healthy substitutes. They found that cow's milk stimulated the growth of cancer cells in all 14 of their experiments, increasing the average growth rate of tumors by 30%. Contrary, almond milk suppressed tumor cells by a rate of over 30%. Is drinking milk really worth the risk of cancer? Think about it. Milk contains enzymes to help calves grow. This is the same for babies, and that's why they are fed milk, especially breast milk, facilitating growth from the mother's nutrients. Since milk is not necessary for older humans, and the nutrients it contains are readily available in foods without animal protein, saturated fats, or cholesterol, individuals will have healthier outcomes if they limit or avoid milk and other dairy products. If you're finding difficulty in giving up milk, just think about the calves that can't gain the necessary nutrition from their mother because we took all their milk. Consuming dairy milk negatively affects the body through its nutritional value, its neglect in bone protection, and its increased risk in cancer. In reality, the type of milk you drink is more important compared to the amount of milk you drink. There's healthy alternatives to cow milk that provide the same nutrition without the downsides. An example, antibiotics and pesticides. Don't wait. Conduct some research to find your best substitutes and stop consuming dairy milk.